His name is G-Man. His name is G-Man. The owner of one-man band. Owner of one-man band. Let me say it once again. Let me say it once again. The owner of one-man band. Owner of one-man band. Let me add. He can give you what you need. 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 Yeah. Relationships are hard. Believe me, I know. Especially with the opposite sex and dealing with someone whose personality is going left field. But us human beings put all the distractions behind us when we find or think we have found the right person to settle down with. We find there's someone we can talk or text one another all day and night long with. We find someone who makes us feel we can float in the air. We know you're in love when you feel you can float in the air, except planet Earth doesn't have gravity. You two begin to go everywhere with one another. When we see Kim, we also see Tony with Kim. It seems they are a match made in heaven. Now Kim and Tony introduce one another to each other's parents. Both of their parents have mutual likeness for them. They say they don't have a problem with them being young and in love. They can stay in love as long as they want to, as long as their grades don't drop. Kim and Tony agree. It is now a year later, and Kim and Tony love for one another is strong. They are not thinking about getting married. Kim gonna have a talk with her mom about it. She said, "Baby, be careful. You don't want to marry someone you can't depend on for your wants and needs. You hear me?" She continued. "I know you in your sophomore year in high school. At least wait until you graduate from high school, baby. At least." Kim then told Tony about the talk she had with her mom. He 100% believed where her mom is coming from. He then started looking for a part-time job. Tony's getting a job to save up money for the future and the wedding. They both know their parents will help for whatever they need, but they want to let them know they're going to put a head start with their future plans. Another year passed by, and they are still in love, and they are still thinking about getting married. Tony's clocking non-stop good hours at Wendy's. He is doing so good that his manager see him as a leader. His manager had a talk with him. He had asked Tony, would he like to become shift manager? Tony would love to do it, but Tony has to at least wait until he graduates from high school or drop out of high school. Tony already know what he wants to do. He talked to his girl. He said it would be a quicker way for him to get the money for the future. She had reminded him what their parents had said. He said he remembered. He said he promised he would take night classes to get his GED. It is now her senior year. Kim grades are still a 3.0 average. She is good in extracurricular activities as singing. She is seriously thinking about pursuing a career in singing or becoming a songwriter. While Kim is doing good in school, Tony, on the other hand, is clocking in dollars. Tony once thought he was getting a job to save money for the future, but it looks as if now he found his career job. He feels good about it. Kim feels good about it. Their parents somewhat feel good about it. That same year, Tony began to have girls come to see him at work. It wasn't like it was planned out. It's something about being young and having good leadership skills. Also young and having your own money, you know what I mean? Females dig a man more when he is rolling in the dollars. One girl used to come every day to come talk to him. I mean every day. He never thought nothing of it. Nah, he never thought nothing of it. Tony's girl is in school, so he is safe. One day, she had come in an hour before he had got off. Since he knew she had her own ride, he asked her to give him a ride home. She really gave him a ride. Once they were in his mom's parking lot, they sat in the car talking while listening to music. A song came on the radio that made her lose her mind. She turned the radio loud as it could go. Tony began to turn the radio back down. She thought she couldn't play her favorite song loud. She then grabbed Tony's hands. They began to caress one another. Tony was getting aroused by the caressing of hands. He was starting to get a stiff erection. He wanted to do something. Yes, he wanted to do something so bad. He knew that soon he was going to be a married man. Having sex with somebody would not ruin the picture. Well, that's what he thought. They then got out the car and he led her the way to his bedroom. 3 months had passed by. Since those 3 months passed by, Tony had sex with her every day, anywhere and everywhere. He thought it wouldn't ruin a happy home. That's what he thought. While Tony at work, at home, in his GED classes, he cannot get this girl out of his mind. He is now falling for her. He is in too deep. He gotta at least break it off of having sex with this girl, or break the marriage off with Kim. So a couple days later, he called Kim, letting her know he had something important to tell her. She said she also got something important to tell him. He met her at the park they used to enjoy visiting when they had the time. She first said she wanted to go first. He said he wanted to go first, but she couldn't hold it in anymore. She said to Tony, Columbia Records accept her song she had written. He was happy for her. But on the outside of him, you couldn't tell. She didn't ask what he had on his mind to tell her. He began telling her that he loved her. He will always love her. And then he said he wanted to break off the wedding. Tony didn't give her an explanation. He simply said he wanted to break it off. He felt it wasn't the right time. He said they needed more time to figure out if they really want to be together forever. When Kim heard what he said, she already knew what was up. She knew Tony was fooling around with some hood rat in Broward County. She wanted to cry. But she didn't want to cry in front of him. She didn't want him to know she was so in love with him, even though she knew Tony already knew this information and she was head over heels for him. They then went their separate ways. Kim went home, while Tony went to work. Those many years she saved her virginity for the love of her life. Those many years she couldn't see herself with nobody else. Those many years she said, I love you numerous times. What a waste. Within 8 hours, Kim's parents found her dead on the floor of her bedroom. Kim had left a suicidal note, letting her family know the reason why she did what she did.